It always goes live faster than. All right. So today we're going to do some Laban stuff and the lymph flush and then our general exercise stuff. Um, okay, dokie. So let's start with the lymph flush, but let's start standing, breathing, just rubbing your hands together to start out. Yeah, I'm still in sort of a slow return to health from the COVID. It I got rid of COVID very quickly, but I haven't returned to being as healthy as I was before. Just easy shake, let everything go, kind of jostle up your whole body. And then inhale, open, oh, and exhale, release. Stretch it out and up. And exhale. Two more. Inhale. Tall and long, really reaching out into your kinesphere. And release. And one more inhale. Open and release. And then let's do the spirals. Twisting. So it's like 40 degrees up here right now. And we're trying not to put the central heating on. We have these little space heaters and stuff. But the cats just want to be out on the back porch so much. So like it's kind, and I don't want to leave the door open for them. So there's kind of this checking on them every 20 minutes business. Although they have fur coats, they're fine. But yeah, some of them are out and some of them are in right now. Okay, so let's do the lymph flush. So our hands have been rubbed together. We're going to start right hand in the upper left quadrant, subclavian vein, which means it's the vein under your clavicle, and that's where the lymph is going to return into the bloodstream and filter out. So right hand to the left upper quadrant, getting around there. You can move underneath it and on top. Relax, trying to clear any kind of holding or blockedness that's happening up there so that we can return to health, right? When our lymph is working really well, when we're breathing well, when we're nourishing our bodies, eating healthy food, getting sleep, we should be returning to health. Change it to the other side, same thing. Moving, freeing up that area. Yeah, so on both sides are these two big veins that take it in, returns to the heart, and then whatever, has been filtered out goes out in your poop and pee. You poop it out. But so we have a lot of ways that we detox: skin, through sweat, through breath. We detox a lot. So holding your breath, we don't want to hold things in. We want to get things moving and alive. So before we go up, let's just take a couple big huff and puffs, getting our diaphragm to move. So letting the whole thing fill up all the way down to your belly. Shake it out, and then going up under the angle of the jaw. Yeah, I like to kind of go in under this whole line and feel into that. Oh, yeah. I had one little lymph node that has been swollen up there. It is returning to being the size of the rest of them, which is amazing. So when you spend time feeling into your body, you can also go, oh, there's something happening right there. And track what's actually going on with your body, right? So we aren't just, I don't know, ignorant about everything going on with our own health, oblivious, sweet oblivion. All right, so getting up there behind the angle of the jaw. Let's just go behind really soft and gentle. This is where our vagus nerve is coming down. So we're just going to go really soft and easy, which is a down regulator in many ways. It helps us rest, digest, soothe, settle. And it is, yeah, also heartbeat. But when we slow our heartbeat, we're coming into a more calm place. And then we're just going to take our hands and kind of grab. So here's sternocleidomastoid, this big muscle. We're going to grab and kind of pinch and just pull it out. Little pinch and pull all the way down. And I'm kind of adapting some techniques that I saw Dr. Harry Nickelston use, he's got a thing on here, Stop Chasing Pain. He's great. Yeah. and I'm in my own body, like I can go, oh, I've got this one area right here that's a little sore, right? So where we have those kind of sorenesses, this isn't like muscular sore. It's like, oh, maybe something's a little stuck and blocked in there. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Right hand to left armpit pec. So you can kind of grab, like I'm grabbing that whole area, or you can just get in. If something's sore or tender, be very gentle. Or if you've had any kind of operation in there, be very gentle. If we have scar tissue, it can respond really well to light, gentle, and easy. We don't need to like get in there and break it up. We can be very gentle and soft with it. Change it to the other side, same thing. Yeah, getting that upper armpit, lots of lymph nodes under there. So we're clearing out what Perry Nickelston calls them these node roads, right, that are coming in from the extremities all the way in. So we want to stop the blockage, like clear it from the center where it's returning, and then we work our way out. Next one, we're coming into the cisterna which is deep there in the middle between your belly button and xiphoid process, which is that base little nub coming out of your ribs, getting in there. And I feel like each part of my body has a different tempo. So when I go in here, this is a slow place. This wants slow movement. So listening into your own body, you can even hear that I have slowed down my speaking in here. Whoa, amazing. Coming down to the inguinal fold, right? Here's my hip bone, ASIS, pubic bone, right in the middle. Feeling into that, lots of lymph nodes in there. And then hands behind your knees. And yeah, even here, I can feel that one, like my right is a little bit more, there's more stuff happening there in the back of my knee than on my left. So we want to start to just notice, right? Trust your own touch of your own body. Good. Shake the whole thing out. So lymph is stimulated by obviously working the area, but then deep diaphragmatic breathing and movement. That stimulates the movement of lymph and the aliveness in our bodies. But we're going to do one more thing. So when we think about like the tips of our toes and our fingertips, those are the farthest away from our heart, from our brain, from our spinal cord. So we're just going to bring some energy into those, which we did already with our hands, but we're going to do it like we're putting on a massage sleeve. So just giving your hand some movement, and you're moving down with the other hand, kind of squeezing and wringing, right? This isn't like a perfection thing. There's not like, oh, how do I do it? Just do it. It doesn't matter. Squeeze around, bring it in. Same thing on the other side. It's like almost like you're fitting your hand into a tight glove, but you're also moving your hand around. So we get the movement from the inside and the movement from the outside. Squishing, squeezing, as hard or soft as feels good to you. Just integrating the idea of this arm into your whole body. So what we're doing is working with a distal edges to core pattern, bringing that in, right? Including these edges of our body. We're going to do the same thing with our feet. I'm just going to squish my way up. My feet aren't moving that much, but my legs are. And as I squish my way up, I can feel that my right calf is also tighter than my left calf. So notice what's going on in your body, all the way into your hips. Let's get into this lower back area. Sacroiliac. Here's your sacrum. That's a big joint where it's joining onto your iliacus, big muscles of your pelvis. A lot of times when people have lower back pain, sciatic pain, this is where that is starting. And for me right now, I'm kind of having some nervy stuff going on down there. And the nervy stuff for me, like I can feel its nervous system more than other things. By the sort of tone of the pain. It's not like twingy, grippy, that kind of pain, but it's more like pervasive and like, oh, this whole area feels like like I overstretched my nerves or something like that, but I think it's actually just from having COVID. All right, let's come to circles with our feet. So we're going to circle around, actually circling knees, pelvis, but letting my feet really mobilize, right? So we're bringing that again, edge of the body into center through movement and change direction other way. Yeah, and I've got something that keeps clicking on my right knee as I do that. So we're going to do one more thing here. I'm just going to move this. Can I move this? Well, maybe I'll come forward. So that you're on the floor if you can. You're going to bring your legs together. You're going to go toe, heel, toe, maybe heel, bring it back in, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Other side, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Maybe you're going that far, maybe not. Heel, toe, heel, toe. So we're getting these little weight shifts with this lateral movement, lateral side, toe, heel, and we're getting this movement. I'm taking my body with me. I'm not trying to isolate anything. I'm just moving the whole thing out and in. It doesn't matter if you're going exactly the same as me. You get the idea. Didn't go quite so far on that one. Trying to get these relationships to just renegotiate. Let's take it down to the floor. We're going to do more Laban stuff at the end. Like we're going to do some actual skills, I think, and play with how we do them. So coming down, let's come all the way down. So I was saying I had that thing going on in my lower back, which has been going on for about a month. And it's not horrible. It's just like there's just a little bit of, it's not even tenderness. It's like awareness of that area because it doesn't hurt to roll through it. Opening, closing. So this is massaging that out, but also giving me this internal, external spiraling in my femur head, right? And then I'm going to take it across, all the way across, big spiral, but very relaxed. I'm not trying to take it necessarily to my absolute deepest stretch. I'm just moving through. As we're doing this movement, there's a lot of movement here in my diaphragm, right? This relationship between from my ribs with that rubber balloon-like diaphragm, and then my organs underneath. Is there a better... You know what? I just ate something yesterday that I think was kind of a good analogy for what your diaphragm is like. And it was like if you get mushu anything, Chinese food, they usually give you those rice pancakes, which are kind of strong and very evenly made. That's kind of, it's like if that was wet and had the same consistency, that's kind of what your diaphragm feels like. Press it up, circles with your hips, warming up your back. Of course, sometimes they give you the flower ones, so that doesn't count. It's the ones they have this sort of flexibility in all directions. I think they're made out of rice. Change direction, but they're really strong. So that's maybe some inspiration to order Chinese and check out the mushu pancake, depending on the quality of the place that you order from. Inhale, arms over your head. Let's exhale. Take it all down and inhale, pressing into your feet, warming up your back. Exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. So I actually want to make this a little bit more exciting for myself. So I'm going to grab weights, but you don't need to. If you have any kind of shoulder issues, if you don't want to work with weights, that's fine. I'm just going to use the weights coming up and down. And I'm going to keep changing the way that my palm of my hand is facing. And I'm going to spiral all the way out even. So I'm getting this spiral into my rotator cuff, changing the relationship of the palms of the hand to my body so that I get all this diversity in the tissue from my hand into my rotator cuff as I'm working my pelvis up and down. Also, like if I do these in sets of 4, right, they're facing each other. Now, palms are facing up, palms are facing down, palms are facing out. Then each of those, if I do that three sets of that, then I have done 12, right? All right, let's change it. We're going to take the arms up and just spiral in and out. Let your scapula wing around on your back. So in the Laban work, well, particularly in the Laban Bartenieff work, the Bartenieff part of that, we're thinking about these relationships of like our fingertips through these two bones in the forearm, through the humerus, into the collarbones, into the scapula, and just feeling, let's let it move a little bit more differently. So I was just doing the internal external rotation. Let your whole spine free up. Move your hands around. It doesn't have to look like what I'm doing, but feel into your scapula, into your spine, into your torso as you move your arms. Just creating the neural pathways for yourself. So like, oh, this feels like this. Sometimes when we get into exercise, we just zone out and we're not actually present with ourselves. If it's possible to stay present with the sensation of what things feel like as you're up there, you're going to benefit in a different way than if you just tune out, right? We're just coming into more presence. That would be the somatic part of it, of feeling, what's happening now? What if I do it like this? Maybe it's more playful. Maybe there's some free flow in it. It's not just, I'm doing the work, but it's like a little more playful and fun. All right, we're going to do block under your foot. We did a little hamstring warming up already. Now we're going to go back up. So this right here would be the wheel plane, the sagittal plane, right? I'm going to go up and down. I think I'm just going to leave my hands down. Letting my pelvis stay fairly stable. Think about lengthening out through the knees as I'm pressing up. I could inhale up or I could exhale up. So one thing, like inhaling up, I'm opening the front of the body. It's very easy to inhale, but also exhaling up, maybe I'm going to work more. Try it both ways. See which one feels better. Let's go up and stay. You're going to take the foot that was on the floor up to the ceiling, pointed toes, outward circles, pressing your pelvis up. And then you're going to flex. These circles could be small or big, but just try to keep your pelvis high as you're circling. So you're pushing, your standing leg is doing a fair amount of work. Good, and folding it in and coming down. Taking your knees in, just rolling across, letting that massage out. So a lot of these exercises that we're doing today, like we are focusing more on the back of our bodies and the spiraling than working like a ton of abs. We might get to abs. Well, we will, but, and this is because I'm having that stuff with my lower back, but I feel generally most people are overtraining their fronts and undertraining their backs, right? Anyway, or overstretching their hamstrings and understretching their quads. Like we want to think of some kind of balance in the way that we're working up and down. Block is on the other side, changing it if you haven't changed it yet. Using your breath in whatever way feels good. It could be an inhale up, could be an exhale up. Noticing the difference. What does your body do on the exhale? What does your body do on the inhale? Next one, we're going to go up and stay. Take the leg off the floor, pointed toes, outward circles. So we're circling in that joint, ball and socket joint in the leg. Femur head coming in, loves that round movement. And then the standing leg is really working to stay up there. Flex. Breathing into it, reaching through your heel, long leg on top. Good, and fold it in and come down. Taking your knees into your chest. Again, just roll from side to side. Relaxed, melting, letting go, softening. And then let's take the knees into our chest and circle with the knees. So I feel like this just regular hip circle exercise or leg circle. I think I learned this from Jackie Villamil, who was one of my ballet teachers many years ago, who I totally adored. And she was also a Laban movement analyst. So she did some really nice stuff before class. And I feel like these leg circles were one of the things. So now I'm seeing Dr. Perry Nickelston is like doing them. He's like, do 30. In my opinion, 30 is kind of a lot. But if you're coming from a more fitnessy, doing it version of life, maybe that's the right amount. So I don't want to judge. I'm excited that we're doing those and that they're being offered in that way. But I do feel like 30 is kind of a lot. Let's take a quick happy baby pose. Playing in the baby. Free flow your baby. Let it be playful and relaxed, spacious. The spacious, happy baby. Taking up space. Oh, right. I feel like our capacity to take up space in the world probably had a lot to do with how we were treated when we were babies and we were unhappy. Were we picked up and supported? Were we left to cry it out? How did we deal with trauma in our little baby bodies? So, as you're in your happy baby, let yourself just renegotiate happiness and babiness for yourself. What does that even mean? Who can say? Let's roll it back and forth. And a lot of these patterns, rolling around, moving around, if little kids are given the freedom to really play, they're going to come up with these patterns by themselves. This is natural stuff. This is totally a non sequitur, but I have to share this because people in my Zoom room will appreciate it. This is currently Squeaky Deaky's favorite toy. What is this? This is part of like what grapes come on. This is a grapevine. Whenever I eat grapes, he goes up onto wherever I've been eating them and steals this and then plays with this. This has been all over our house. It has been in my bed. Like he's so hilarious. So like I really don't buy a lot of toys for them, but they find ones that they really like. And he looks like a fox, like the way that he plays with it. Anyway, I know that grapes, he doesn't eat it. He just plays with it. Opening the arms outside side. I think grapes are bad for cats, but he doesn't eat the grapes. He just likes to play with the vine part. All right, side to side, spiraling. Again, we're massaging through our back. We're getting the movement through our diaphragm, twisting, letting yourself open up. Thinking of the inner body, the central channel, and inside of the central channel, our spinal cord, as being very fluid, very spacious, and very alive. And if you want to make this harder, you can straighten out your legs. I love this exercise. I feel like this, for my lower back, this is one of the helpers. Just getting that stretch and also working at the same time. Squeaking around on the floor. Good, let's bring it in. And I want to do this sideways one. It is the pelvic lift with the side movement. So there's two versions of it. Well, there's more than two, but we'll work with two. One is going up, just dropping the hip, lifting up and coming down. So this is an easier version. Up, lower, lift, lower. Slightly different. Up, elbow and knee come in. You come onto your side. You can stretch it out, bring it back, press it up and lower down. Press it up, knee to the floor, elbow down. So there's a body half action. We stretch, we get a big arch through the whole body. Come back in, press it up and down. Pelvis up, elbow and knee. Onto the side, push the floor away with the bottom, bring it back in, lift and lower. Do the easier version if that is right for you today. Really listen to your own body. Sometimes we don't know what is right or wrong until we've already found the very uncomfortable boundary and learn it the hard way. So that's kind of the way that you really learn, right? It's like when, oops, I just ruined that. I won't do that again. Or you don't learn. Me and my dad had this project years ago on the house of building a a banister, just putting a banister in the basement. And we figured it all out. We got all the wood. We're putting it in. We put this big 4x4 in to anchor it. Then we start to anchor it. And then we realize the door to the basement opens in. And this is not going to work at all. But after we'd done a ton of work, so then we had to refigure it all out. But I tell you, I learned, right? Because we had totally fucked it up. All right, let's take our hands down by our sides, big circles with the legs, open it up and take it down. And it's still there. We never took that 4x4 out, but maybe one day I'll need it. Open it out. I mean, the 4x4 itself isn't a problem. It's that we couldn't attach anything to it because the door would just never open again if we attached something to it from the inside. And then change direction. Yeah, so thinking through things before you commit. That's not one of my specialties. I usually have to go in too far and then realize, oh, now I need to backtrack. I've gone too far here. And then there's people that don't ever start. So yeah, I'm more of a start, get it wrong, learn something, try again. Hands behind your head type person. Elbow to knee, crossing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Relax. Let's roll up. If you can grab your ankles, grab, just press up. It's been a long time since I've done that. This is why we want to do diverse things so that we don't lose our capacity to do things. Then let's open the hands, and you can walk your feet out to roll it down if you need to. Slowly start in the top of the spine, roll it down, vertebra by vertebra, really taking your time, peeling into the floor piece by piece. And then coming all the way down. So that was like sagittal, right up and down. Here we are in the wheel plane. We're going to open it up and roll from side to side. Rolling across side to side, opening and closing. If we were standing, we would call this the horizontal plane. But since we're rolling, we are maybe moving in a different way. In the Laban work, the key, it could be a body key or a room key for how I describe vertical or horizontal. It could be like the real actual 3 dimensions of up, down, side, side, forward, backward, or I could take it to the floor and say, this is my vertical, this side to side, this is my horizontal. Sagittal doesn't change because it is the same, the wheel plane. So I can transpose the whole thing and say, just using Laban language, that the body is the key and this would be vertical. Just so you know. Let's bring it in and come up. It doesn't matter if you know that, if you are not, like that's just some random extra information for people that are studying movement analysis on how that fits in. Let's take the opposite arm to leg. We're going to go out, in, out, kicking the plant, and then bring it in. So this is sagittal movement. Out, in, out. It's contralateral cross body. Out, in, out, change. And we're in the sagittal plane. It's got up, down, and forward, backward. Breathing. Breathing big. Don't be shy about breathing big. So we have this forward, backward, up, downness. We're going to shift it and try this same thing. I'm just going to face you to go out, in, out, side, side, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in, out, long back, out, in, out, cross body movement again, but we're moving in a very different manner. Last one. And let's take the knees back, big circles with your hips, lubricating up your hip sockets, your lower back, even your spine, feeling your head-tail connection, maybe even feeling your heel-sits bone connection as your sit bones are reaching back towards your heels. And change direction. And I actually really feel like I want to do this with my toes curled under. So that's just an option. I don't know why. Just feel like I want to do it. So I'm listening in. Okay, let's take it to a dog from there. So then I am prepped for my dog. Bending one knee, bending the other. Heels up and down. Stretching through the back of the leg. Reach your sit bones up to the ceiling. And then let's take this. You're just going to go up to your heels. Take it forward into a tabletop. Press it back, heels to the floor. Heels up, knees toward the floor, tabletop. Take it back, heels down. Up, tabletop, heels back, down. So it's kind of like you're making a weird, it's not really a circle, but there is sort of a roundness to the movement. And again, this is in the sagittal plane. Our up and down and forward and backward. Good. Let's take it forward with a lift your heels, round your spine, roll it forward into a plank. From there, if you want to, you can put your knee down, make this easier. Arm circles going one way, opening up rib cage, lungs, and heart. You can also stay in a side plank for that. Change direction with the arm. Breathing. Take it through center to the other side, knee down or not. If you need to make it easier, go for it. Listen to your body. It's fine. And change direction. So we're working with this different relationship to gravity, right? Bring it back in, drop your head, roll it up, lower your heels. And this is even an inversion, right? When our head is below our butt, we are inverted. We don't need to be in a headstand or a handstand. We are getting the benefits of this upside downness. Let's roll it through again. Lift your heels, round your spine, roll it through. This time slowly lowering down to the floor in 10 counts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees. Soften. Check out your floor. Think, do I need to vacuum or not? In my case, the answer is yes. It's the 3-cat factor. Got to vacuum a lot if you have cats. Bring it in, opposite arm to leg. Oops, let me scooch forward. I'm trying to get off of this like cat hair. Oh well. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale. Use your breath. Good. And relax. Shake it out. Take your hands, bang it out. If you have any tight spots in your hip, lower back, just give them a little tap. Doesn't have to be hard, can be very gentle, or it can be hard, whatever feels good to you. Taking the hands next to your chest, baby cobra. Inhale. Exhale. Use your breath. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Connect your hands. Keep going all the way. Feel free to try and touch your head to your toes. Release. Take it down. So let's go with upper body, no hands. Connect the hands. Press all the way up. Optional, bend the knees. Release. And take it back down. Upper body lifts. Hands connect. Arch it up. Touch. Release. Take it down. Upper body, connect. Lift. Up. And one more. Upper body, connect. And then this time take it back. Child's pose. Wiggle, breathe, soften your spine, free flow your spine, mobilize. You could do like, you know how cats do the scrabbling thing with their claws? That's what it's actually called, scrabbling. Try that. Baking bread with your hands, feeling the connection of your arms. Right? What are the cats doing when they're doing that? Well, they're probably getting milk out of the mama cat nipple, but they keep doing it for the rest of their life. What's happening there? Right? It's a massive core distal relationship staying integrated into their hands with that kind of movement, right? That there's a push, a grab, and a slight pull. Yeah, our next class will be all cat movement. We need a grapevine to start that class. Let's come up onto our heads and then roll it back. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. And you can slow down, feel into what it feels like. And then roll it up. I feel like we need to do some more push-ups. I feel like I've just not been doing enough arm work. So we're going to do a tricep push-up with knees on the floor, or you can leave them off the floor. So tricep push-up, elbows are right into your sides. Then I'm going to press up and take it into a side plank. Coming back in, knees touch, push up, shift, side plank. Knees. Make any version of this that works in your body. It may be very different than what I'm doing. Listen in. Feel into, does this feel okay? So taking away the idea of, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Feel into it. Start to learn to discern for yourself. And remember, we don't always learn about boundaries until we've gone past them, until we've broken through them accidentally or on purpose. Using your breath. Couple more times. Woo! Last one each side. And coming down. Circles with your wrists. A circle in and a circle out. So it's really a figure eight. Letting your elbows free up. Lemniscatic movement through the arms. And then we're going to go with this, flexing your feet. Stretch it over to the side. Take it forward. Big breathing to the side. We're going to keep going back. If it feels okay, arch, open, around to the side, forward. Circular port de bras, movement of the arms around your body. Lots of movement through the diaphragm, lungs, and heart. Just coming up over the top, change direction. Sideways, forwards, around, circling. Yeah, bang it out, let it go, rotate in and out. We're going to just do a quick hip release, and then we'll do some scales. So I'm going to do knee over knee like this. And if you want to leave your bottom leg straight, you can. And from here, I'm going to do a few things. I am going to wiggle around. Circling is usually a pretty good thing to do, but maybe your circle is a little free form. So let yourself switch back and forth. I'm having an OCD moment of, I got to fix the carpet and organize this thing before going on. There. We could have free form movement in there, letting yourself just mobilize, feeling the places where you feel kind of tight, letting movement ripple through those areas. So we're hydrating tissue, we're releasing head-tail connection, cranium, ribs, pelvis in relationship. So we have a natural writing response with our heads that want to be vertical, like let it go. Let go of that response. Just give yourself a little more flow in the occipital joint where your head is connecting onto your spine. And then take it forward with the same thing, same freedom, freedom fries, all in your body. Letting it go. You can play head tail, you can play tail to head. It's easier, like when your butt is already fairly stable on the ground, it's easier to move from the top to the bottom. But if you want to think of initiating from the bottom and move it up, you can do that too. And then come up and unscramble, release, let it go, bang it out. Yeah, my whole body feels just a little bit beat up at the moment, which is partly from being in rehearsals where we're hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. And then the other part is that it is actually cold outside. Easy movement with the other leg in front. Yeah, for me, it might even be that it isn't an adjustment to recovering from COVID, but probably it's a combo platter. My body takes a while to adjust to the weather shifts and the light shifts. So like when we're changing seasons, that I require more sleep, more taking care of myself, more healthy food, all the things, less activities, fewer activities. Yeah, take it down, release into that. And in the world that we live in, it's really hard to slow down. It's really hard to do less. And then when you're ready, come up, unscramble, give it a bang. So what I do is actually I just go to bed in the afternoon and try and spend an hour to 2 hours in there. And I can read or, not watch TV, not scroll anything, but either be in a book or just be in like a meditation or just sleep. All right, let's come up onto our feet and just a quick shift from side to side. Bend one knee, bend the other. Let your head tail free up here. Weight shift and head tail mobility, spinal mobility. We're having a kinetic chain of movement as we shift from one side and let it ripple through. So where does the movement start and where does it go? All right, let's get into some really basic scales. So we're going to just do the dimensional cross of axis, which is up and down. That's the vertical, side across, side open, horizontal, backwards and forwards, sagittal. Same thing on the other side. Vertical dimension, single dimension, up with two directions, side across, side open, horizontal, backwards and forwards, sagittal. We're trying to keep our hip bones facing front. The only places, well, there's a couple places. You may want to turn as you're doing side across, try to keep the hips square even as you cross and open. And in the backwards and forwards, try not to turn, but keep the hips facing front. Let's do it again. Vertical, up and down. Horizontal, side across, side open. So these are dimensions, backwards and forwards. And of course we are three-dimensional, but this is just the Laban language. Vertical dimension, place high, place low. Horizontal dimension, side across, side open. Sagittal dimension, backwards and forwards. So the way that we can think about those dimensions, like if we were to visualize, is like, here's the vertical dimension, oops, ignore the stuff on the ends. It's basically just the line. Here's the horizontal dimension. Here's the sagittal dimension, forward, backward, right? Vertical, horizontal, sagittal. It's the same three dimensions, but we're just using them in terms of movement. Each dimension, each line has two directions. If we move into planes, which we're going to do right now, each plane has two dimensions. So the vertical plane has up, down, and side, side. So this is the vertical dimension. We add horizontal dimension, some side, side, and we have the vertical plane. So let's hit that high right, high left, low right, low left. And I'm hitting this now with both sides of my body because it's nice, it feels good that way, but I could hit it with just one side, high right, high left, low right, low left. Other side, high left, high right, low left, and I have to say the opposite, low right, right? So anytime we could be talking about the points in space, or when we say right and left, or we could be talking about the body part. But for now, I'm talking space. So that was the vertical dimension, vertical plane. Horizontal dimension, just side, could be side across, could be side open. And then I add some forward, backward, and I have the horizontal plane. So the horizontal plane has horizontal dimension plus some sagittal dimension, forward, backwardness. 2 dimensions in a plane. So we're going to go right, forward, middle, left, forward, middle, right, back, middle, left, back, middle. It's like you're in a big rectangular table with the 2 heads on either side, and you're touching the 4 corners, right, forward, middle, left, forward, middle, right, back, middle, left, back, middle. One more, right, forward, middle, left, forward, middle, right, back, middle. And we're using both sides of our body right now. We could go right, forward, middle, left, forward, middle, right, back, middle, left, back, middle, left, forward, middle, right, forward, middle, left, back, middle, right, back, middle, right? We could hit those points in many ways with one body part. Now we're going to do sagittal, and because it's slightly different, we're going to have, so we have the sagittal dimension, forward, backward. We add some vertical, some up, down, and we have the sagittal plane, the wheel plane. So we're going to go, and I'll just show this sideways. We're going to go forward high, forward low. We're going to cycle through it. Backward low, backward high, forward low, backward low, backward high. Same thing with the other hand. It's the same points. Forward high, forward low, backward low, backward high, forward low, backward. We could move through the inside. We could go forward high to backward low, backward high to forward low. So we could move around it anyway, but just to give you that information. All right, let's come in. That is the whole of today's class. I am going to end the live stream. And if you are in TV land, please like and subscribe and consider supporting me.